Hello, 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 and welcome back to day 10 of our daily content little grind set during June. Now, we're back with part 4 of our little Netherlands tool playthrough, albeit the amount that we're playing tools seems to be a little bit limited at the moment, but we've got a lot of the land that we want now. So we can actually start focus on developing our economy and not doing these endless wars that we seem to be continually dragged into, which is always a bit of a problem if you just want to sit there and make your economy up. Welcome to the stream, everyone. It's good to see you all. Thank you for being here. There's a Discord link in the chat if you haven't joined up yet. It'd be good to see all of you. Now, obviously 1.3.2 has come out, which is quite a big change because it's fixed the performance, which is lovely, and a lot of bugs have been fixed. Emergency Parliament now works. A lot of the estate interactions are still working, but there's obviously still some issues, like the estates and their bankruptcy. We've got this big problem that our estates just don't have enough money. They keep making these effing estate buildings, right? Which is still taking a lot of chunking out of their coffers. But the problem is that we're not even reliant on that, right? All of our estates are bankrupt. Our peasantry, our burghers, I mean, they're constructing that. They've actually got some money, but our economy is based on them. And our clergy as well. So 3 out of 4 of our estates are bankrupt. Now, this means that this pop expenses here are going to drastically reduce as they lose more and more money, meaning that they're going to be spending a lot less into our economy. We're going to be making less money as we've got less goods to sell to our own population, and it will have a bit of a negative effect on our overall economy. So we need to get our estates profitable, and yet it's a bit of a patch issue, right? So there's only so much we can do. It's like the economic spiral that was in the last patch. There's only so much that you can do to affect it when it's a problem from Paradox themselves, right? We can try and reduce these estate buildings, but there's so many in our country that even spending the 40% estate satisfaction doesn't get rid of all of them, which is really, really quite frustrating, albeit we're probably going to need to try again. But ultimately, if we just build our economy up, get some more money into our people's hands, we should be okay. Let's get cracking. So, let's maybe go speed 6 rather than speed 7, otherwise we might break it up. So we do have a considerable coalition forming. Now, we've obviously taken quite a lot of land, and that's why we moved our capital in last session, if you guys remember. We moved it to Antwerp to get greater control over these inland provinces. So we need to keep investing in that and making sure we've got what we need. But ultimately, my strategy to get these estates as profitable as possible is to play pretty tall. Now, the problem is when you've got this wealth versus tax-based dilemma, because if you obviously have more wealth, you've got less income from no control. That's what this little thing is here. So for a 39 control province, we get 39% of this of their economy, whereas our estates and the other bits of our economy get that other proportion, which means that if you're playing a bigger economy like France, you're not going to be struggling from this estate bankruptcy problem like we are as to Holland. But by growing our economy, we should hopefully fix that. But yeah, we just need to do our best ultimately. Hopefully, in 1.5.3, they managed to find a fix for it. But until then, there's only so much we can do. But these estate buildings are definitely costing us an arm and a leg. But with our nobility not liking us very much at the moment, it's kind of out of our hands. Now, our parliament is about to finish, and it's on 49.95%. So what can we do to make it a little bit happier? Do an autonomy movement? Let's do it. Fund artisan guilds is an insane parliamentary issue. It gives us that 10% production efficiency and 5% access to raw materials for 10 years, which should make all of our built-up urban locations a lot more effective and actually be able to get some economic value into our economy, which is always nice. Now, the other problem we've got at the moment is that we are sort of spread between 2 markets. Actually 3, to be honest. We made the Den Haag market to get out of the thralls of the Bruges market. But to be honest, we might actually be doing better if we were just inside the Bruges market with our own provinces, or had all of our provinces in one market. So we could go about trying to delete one of these markets and getting everything we own into one of them. Because our country being so small, right, we're not losing much from market access otherwise. But even these provinces aren't in our own market yet, so we've still got a long way to go. Now, it's a bit of a risk, but it's probably worth us finding out whether it's viable or not. So I am going to risk it, and we'll see what we can do. So Our wealth is 291. Our tax base is 153. Now, if we get rid of this market, destroy it, what's the cost for that? So the cost to destroy a market is, if it lets me hover over it, 40 stability and 20 prestige. Jesus, yeah, let's wait a little bit. Our economy is doing all right at the moment anyway. But we'll get into that in a bit. Now, we could start building up some spinners guilds in Den Haag, but it's not exactly the most effective way to use our resources there. Tailors Guilds definitely no, as we've got the Flemish cloth industry urban, right, which will be great for us. Now, we've also got a diplomat free, so it would probably make sense to use them on people who aren't very happy with us. Let's start improving with Württemberg and getting them out of our coalition. And we obviously do want to invade our coalition and deal with it directly. But the less people in it, the better, for obvious reasons. What else can we build for some short-term capital? I mean, we do seemingly have constant lumber issues, so we can continue investing in them. It's a foundational building, so it should get us pretty high up in the mechanisms. Let's have a look at chat for a second. You start a new save in 1.1.10. Fair enough, mate. I mean, you've always got access to the earlier versions if you want an easier experience. Hi, Vanya. It's good to see you. Hi, Eric. Thank you for being here. Can you make France vassals disloyal via the one spy network interaction? Theoretically, but then 70% loyal. So I think we might have missed the boat with Flanders. That's why we're sort of investing in a professional army. If we can get a big professional army, we can take on France ourselves, even if they are the gigantic behemoth. We'd obviously need quite a few more friends to help us do that, but we are getting to a position where we're quite strong in our own right. I wish they would sell us some of their vassals, like the County of Namur, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Now, let's keep integrating if we can. We want to get all of our stuff cored. We recently enforced our culture on this vassal up here, which means they should, theoretically, start spreading our culture for us, which is nice. Yeah, they're developing Low Franconian, which will be brilliant for us in the long term. But obviously in the short term, it means we can't annex them for good ROI. But with Frisian being an accepted culture, we're okay. We can take this land and get cores over it. We've just got Patron of the Arts as well, which would be nice for us. Now, this allows us to test out a 1.3 mechanic of artists. Obviously, artists now have traits, but we don't have any yet. So, we can invest in culture. So let's see if we can figure out this mechanism. I've not really, if I'm honest, I've not really looked at artists before. We have one really shite artist. Now, he's got the trait of inconspicuous. So he's not very good. So can we get rid of him? Dismissed artist. Let's do it. So we can hire our own artist. We've got lots of prestige. So we can do that. He is seemingly awful. He does have a good trait, but he's got 0 artistic skill. I mean, with our constant coalitions, we can actually just... Maybe we can just continue re-rolling artists and seeing if it helps us until we get a decent one. It could just be a problem with hiring them that there's guaranteed to be shy. We'll come back to that later when we've done our next coalition war, as we will get some new prestige. Now, France is currently being attacked by Castile and England, which is good for our long-term plans to delete them. In the short term, we've got some free legitimacy, so let's use that. Have we got any urban rights that we can put in place? We essentially want to find our urban locations that haven't been used yet. Oh, this guy here. So what are your RGOs? You've got a lot of food, so you could be a good granary town. Let's do it. I mean, that will help our population growth, so it's not exactly a bad thing. We don't have any cities, unfortunately, so it's not like we can get a second one. But we can always hire a courtier or give out a estate privilege. So let's have a quick look at our estates and let's see if there's anything we want to give out. We've fully reined in our nobility, so we could think about giving out some another nobility privilege. Primitive nobility would get their loyalty up way too... their influence up way too high. Elite council could be quite good, though. It allows a noble delegation building, which isn't great. But it would give us a lot of control over our parliament. Now, if we want to spam out this emergency parliament, which we definitely want to do because it's so overpowered, let's give it a go. And we can take the 10 legitimacy to get us back to 100%. Lovely. Now, what do we want to do for our next technologies? We have quite a lot available to us. We could rush down docks and work on our maritime presence. We've obviously just got the coastal forts up and running. So it should be helping us out in that respect. Rights and nobility could be quite good as well. Let's go down for that and get that law done. After that, protected harbours, docks and barks could be quite good. But with ships being so expensive in this day and age, it's a little bit of an issue. Now, this is a unique building we can get from our Netherlands culture, and that is the polders. And what do the polders do? So they increase population and capacity, development growth, food production, and you can make them in any sort of settlement you want. Essentially, it's a tool building. We could go down for that. I mean, silver and lead output is quite good if you've got those provinces, but we obviously don't. Rag paper is probably going to be quite good for us, considering our wool economy that we can get from Britain. And we'll see where we can go from there. We've got a lot available to us, really. Yeah, 70% is a lot. Early stream, absolutely. Just because you asked for it, mate, I'm here for you. Yeah, Flanders can't flip because it's 70%, which is really annoying for us. But look, there's nothing we can really do about that one. Ooh. Now I've done the cardinal sin of tapping out to read chat, and which means I've crashed my EU5. So let's fix that quickly and get that back up and running. We won't lose too much, which isn't really a big problem. But in the meantime, let's have a look at chat, because that's what I tapped out to do. Try to discover the Azores, because we might spawn in a new world first. Now that's a really good idea. We'll definitely get on that. Obviously expensive though. we don't exactly have any explorers. We don't have any. I do need a second monitor. It is on the way. But why is EU5 tabbing out just from tabbing it out, right? I don't know why. It wasn't a problem in the earlier patches, but now it does seem to be a problem in the recent ones. Just crashing for no reason whatsoever. But yeah, 2.5% dev growth is really good. Yeah, obviously quite an expensive building, but that's the benefit of playing Tool, right? When we've got limited provinces, we can invest in those fancy buildings. If you've got 500 provinces, you're going to be very specialized into where you make your buildings and where you don't. But when you've got limited provinces, it means you can actually focus on the small amount you've got. And I imagine we're going to hit our population capacity quite fast, which is probably going to be our big problem. I wanted to make EU, but my game updated to 1.2, so all your vassals are buggered. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, it's quite hard to annex them in 1.2, but a little bit of a tip for you. At 1.2, just annex them all at the same time. That's the big change of how you can actually, because of the way the modifiers work, is they stack additively, which means they reduce additively as well. So you can just annex lots of people at the same time. I mean, you can use your... Yeah, absolutely. But it's usually survives. But when the game decides to be a little bit iffy, which the current stability of EU5 does, it does cause some issues. But yeah, very professional, but we'll get onto it. It'll work itself out. We didn't lose much, which is a good thing. We only lost 1 month anyway. Our son of heir has come of age, lovely, but he is terrible. So let's try and murder him. I'm not even joking. Let's get our heir on our throne. Not a throne. Yeah, well, I guess a ship is a type of throne, sure. Let's get him out in the sea, and hopefully he dies off. I would love that as much as possible. I'm keeping him not as a general, because I want him to survive as long as possible. I mean, just look at how insane his abilities are. And he's got the agricultural visionary trait, which is by no means the best trait in the game, with monthly development plus 0.02, which is insane. We have an unmarried adult heir. Now, we could marry him to the heir of Flanders, which would allow us to get a personal union over them. Oh, well, I've just killed my navy. That's really sad. Yeah, ouch. There goes 100 quid. But we got our air and naval traits. So that's not the worst thing in the world. That's yeah. I blame that on the reload. I forgot we were at war with Britain for a second. But not exactly we're doing anything in this war. We're just letting France use their manpower on it, really. Now, we were looking at our economy, weren't we? So, is there anything we can get that's quite good for us? Well, these fibrous crops are apparently quite in demand in our market. Let's get a few more in Amsterdam. We've got quite a lot of really high-value production modifiers for it, due to the artisan guilds and local RGOs with livestock, which means they could be quite effective. Now, it would mean if we did go to rag paper, we actually might hurt our economy if we are based on these fibrous crops. But getting it to a lower price is probably a good thing for us in the meantime. So what can we do in the meantime to get to the scratch of where we want to be? I mean, I'd love for our heir to die, but that's not happening. We've just got some regular money coming in. We want to reduce our fort maintenance. I mean, it's a bit of a risk, but why not? Our culture investment is at 0. If we put it up, how much prestige would it give us? Not really that much. Oh, and France has won the war anyway. We get a little bit of money out of it. Nothing major. I mean, we didn't really do anything, did we? So we don't exactly deserve anything. We've still got our imperial circle, so we can start doing something with that if we really fancy. But I think we just need to get rid of our coalition, really. If we can get out of the thralls of it, we can just start expanding, getting all of the stuff of our culture, and then we can stick it to the region of where we want to be. So let's just keep improving relations with people, and we'll get to where we want to be eventually. Right. Stability. Do we want to invest in stability? I mean, we've got money. Why not? It will slow down our economic growth a little bit, but getting to positive stability on such a tall nation is probably a good idea for us. The game was giving you constant events to kill him. He was, but we didn't take him. We've kept our good Duke. Now, I would love some constant events to kill this guy. That would be much better. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen, unfortunately. Now, who did we marry off to the heir of Flanders? It is our... Oh, no, it somehow went off to England, and we missed a boat there. Once again, I blame the reload. That's sad. Yeah, we need to get our crappy heir a royal marriage, even if he is really crap. Because if he has kids, and then... Oh, she's got really good stats. I know stats don't really matter, but we could get her in the cabinet or something. See, that's something I wish, right? If we married her off to our heir, why would she not join our crown estate? That should be in the game. Like, if you've got someone who is your heir's wife, they should be in your crown estate, surely. Go on, Johan, get on that, please. Right, we can get you in the sea. Is there any other coastal buildings we can make in the meantime? Like wharfs, potentially? There we go. Libraries? Are we maxed out on libraries? Let's just check. Yes, we are. Bridges. I mean, when you're in such a tiny nation, we need, especially, I mean, overall, to be honest, but you do need all of the unique buildings you can get. Temples as well. Let's get some temples. Coastal forts was the other one, but I believe we're maxed out on that, but it's worth checking. Yeah, we are maxed out. Lovely. And we can actually start thinking about urbanizing if we really want to. I know we wanted to get rid of that subsequent market and make ourselves a little bit more efficient. But this is a problem, right? There's so much to build and develop that there's infinite options for us. Let's see if we can get our heir marriage, even if he's not very good. You're 4th in line for the Danish throne. That could be decent. What about the Aragonese? Yeah, you're crap. Let's go for the Denmark lady. Why not? We've got 4 kids now, so we've got a lot of options available to us. If the worst does before our heir, unfortunately, I'm definitely not praying for that. Damn, your game runs quick. It's weird to see the days go by fast. Yeah, I spent a lot of time optimizing it. 1.3.2 has really helped the performance, but if you actually investigate your settings and get the right settings available to you, not just putting down like the quality unnecessarily, but getting the right things for you, like DLSS upscaling was really good for my system. Moving to Vulkan was the big thing for my system. I would recommend checking out the optimization video I did. It's got some really good tips if you are struggling with performance. But the biggest change, ironically, is just Johan sorting us out in this patch. It's really helped us out in 1.3.2, getting the game up to the speed that we need it to be. Let's keep integrating. We're almost at the place where we've got everything ready. And we are maxed out on centralization now for where we can be. So we could move to a different type of value. Maybe innovative is the best idea, just to help us get all of the stuff integrated, but we're almost done with that. A plutocracy could be a move, but that would make our burghers even more powerful. But it would give us some really strong buffs. I like how much they've buffed up plutocracy in 1.3. We could also move to further into naval to try and get the harbour administration policy. How far could we push naval if we did? Oh, not very far at the moment, but like I said, we haven't got our ruler on our ships at the moment, so it is understandable. Maybe innovative. Let's get that going. Well, once we get our stuff integrated, we can use our cabinet on our actual economy, which will always be nice for us. We do have this coalition forming, but it's a lot down the line. We've just got sovereignty for extra crown power, which is lovely. Are there actually... Yeah, Royal Court could be worth doing now for the efficiency of cabinet and crown power. We've got the money for it. Same with a Royal Garden. The monthly diplomats for that, like a static fee, are insane. And I mean, we've moved our capital. It's the perfect timing for it. Same with probably a university. And to be honest, I'd forgotten we'd unlocked our university. So it'll definitely be worth us going through and seeing what we can get with that. And we could get some horses going. Antwerp is actually a hotbed for it. So let's do that. Let's get some stud farms. Our tax base is going up nicely. Quest for the Baltic grain. Ooh, that's new. We get increased grain demand for 50 years, and the issue will continue as long as the Den Haag market lacks wheat, and our trade advantage with Riga and Lübeck are below 25. Well, that just means that our grain RGOs will be even more efficient. So let's just get investing in them, really. And they're not going to be the most efficient RGO in the world, but we do need to be able to be self-sufficient on our food if it's all possible. All right, let's have a look at chat for a second while we're letting our economy scale up a little bit. Remember when you could send your heir to a boat and let them kill themselves in Ireland or Iceland? Yeah, they're good times. Sadly, not a thing anymore, but it was good back in the day. That was early EU4, by the way, for those who don't know. You could literally just put your character or your general on a boat, and if the boat died, they died. So it was like an easy way to get a free abdication or a free ruler death. It was brilliant. Hey, Jadamsan, I can't see any explanation on trade companies. Are you able to explain how they work or even create a video on it? I can definitely have a look into it. The honest truth is that they just don't work at the moment. And so it's not really worth looking into it. But once they do start working, it's definitely something we can absolutely do. Has 1.3.2 been a big improvement over 1.3? Absolutely. Like the estate mechanics finally work. The extra parliament you can get finally works. The performance is probably doubled since 1.3.0. So absolutely move over. Can you please show the whole map? France is looking crazy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're doing mental. We obviously, we were the reason why they took this land. The strategy was to try and get them a coalition. It just didn't happen. No one joined in. And we ended up probably causing ourselves a little bit of an issue. But I don't know. We'll have to deal with France eventually. But it's going to be hard. Now, that is probably going to be the big challenge of this game. Have we got anything else we can integrate, or are we back onto just the big things? Yes, we are. Our navy is the best, sure. Now we can start developing our provinces, I guess. Let's go for the Antwerp province. We can make some cities around it. It's quite a decent location. The reason why we, for those who didn't see last session, by the way, we moved to Antwerp was because it's got a much better topography. It's grassland, it's coastal, it's got a river, and that should hopefully allow us to get some really good control inland over here. Which we can actually check. If we hover over something like Brussels, we are, yeah, proximity costs of going upstream along a river. So the river is really helping us here. Obviously, it's proven quite hard to get maritime presence this game because they've really nerfed that in 1.3. But we are slowly ticking up, which is always nice. So rushing for docks, actually, is probably going to be a good idea. Even over rag paper, to be honest. I think we're going to do that. And the reason why I've changed my mind on rushing for rag paper is because of how effective our fibrous crop industry is. Because why would we move over to wool when we don't have much of it? When we can just make loads of these fibrous crop farms and get a lot of money out of it? It's just a no-brainer, really. Yeah, we'll just keep making loads of these if it's a good economy for us. Nice. Spending 300 on it seems like a lot, but we then can just do the rest of the economic spiral, right? We can push into spinner skills. We can get all of our stuff from fibrous crops, and we can make a lot of money out of it. Now, rights and nobility. So we've already really curtailed our nobility. We don't really have anything to lose by blocking them out of the cabinet positions. Oh, it doesn't do that anymore. They've changed that. So that's a 1.3 change. So curtailing them no longer blocks them from a cabinet. It just vastly reduced their power from cabinet positions. That's really strong. Now, it would reduce their estate satisfaction equilibrium, which is we are already struggling with. That's why we can't tax them to the full without problems. But it would allow us to tax them more overall. We could go to a nobility electorate, which would allow us to change our electorate succession, giving us more passive legitimacy, which will reduce our cost of court cost and improve that satisfaction, which could be quite good for us. Strength and rights and nobility could also be quite good. It would give them a higher levy size, more estate satisfaction. but it would reduce the amount of crown power we're getting from our crown power headed cabinet, which would be quite significant. But to be fair, we've got quite high crown power anyway, so it could be quite good just to get rid of it. But I don't think we can change our crown electorate law anyway, because yeah, we have got partition inheritance. But maybe the nobility electorate could actually help us. Let's try it. Because it will improve their satisfaction, it will make our cost of court cheaper, and it might actually allow us to change our succession law in the future. Let's give that a go. Can you even annex vassal and PUs? Yeah, you've got to put some effort into it. So this guy, we are keeping at the moment. We could annex them, and we've annexed quite a few people. It just takes time. But because we're able to, location culture, get them to converting our culture for us, we'll just leave them. We've enforced our culture on them, so they really hate us at the moment. But that will go down over time, and that's why we need to keep improving relations with them, really. We've got a lot of buildings in Antwerp, and once we get the Royal Garden up, our amount of diplomats passively will go up significantly. New artist? Oh, good idea. We've got prestige again. Let's do that. Let's give it a go. So we've got this guy who's crap. I don't know if hiring artists means you just get guaranteed to get crap ones. But this guy's 24. He's really bad. But oh, we can have multiple artists. But you're only meant to, we've only got a limit of 1. Oh, you can only have 1 hired at a time. So if you just spam artists, you can sort of get loads of good ones. Have we got any decent ones? So we've got this 48 guy. What's his trait? He's got art creation speed. So if we hire him to commission art, let's see what he does. Yeah, we've got 7. So that's a glitch. We're not meant to have this many artists. 7 out of 1. Oh, or is it? So theoretically, if the tooltip is right, obviously you can't take that for granted in EU5. You can pay to hire 1 artist, but if you hire them through other means, it seems fine. That's fine. But that does mean that you can sort of spam these artistic traits. Do you have to pay them salaries even if they're not hired, or is it only if you hire them and commission artists? Let's have a look. Are we spending anything on culture investment? No, it doesn't really cause us any issues. I guess we can figure out that system as far as we get into the game, really. Stabilized country would reduce our cost of court, but we want to get our stability up as fast as possible, especially if we want to consolidate our markets. Now, is there any other fancy buildings we want to get out of Antwerp, like roads or whatever, just to get our control up as high as possible? Yeah, let's just get it done. It's a long-term investment. It'll be worth it. We've got some very good proximity anyway, so we need to get the more advanced roads, really. So banking allows us to introduce government bonds as well, which is the new mechanic in 1.3. We can probably think about testing it out once we get that as well. Oh no, the HRE Emperor is dead. Long live the king. So who is the new Emperor? Let's have a look. Oh, it's still Bohemia, which is fine. I so wish we could have the French bits here, but we really can't at the moment. We got any CBs or anything? We'll set Frisier as our rival. So I'm going to go for them. We can always canonize a saint. That would give us 8 legitimacy. We don't really need the legitimacy at the moment. Oh, let's have a look at our estate, see if we can get anything good for them. Let's do it. 20 stability free. I do think, if I'm honest, yeah, 456 ducats for free. Obviously, it does take it out of the estate, I think, but worth it. These estate interactions are far too prevalent, in my opinion. Purely because they're just so strong. If you can do them every 5 years, even like the emergency parliament, you're just getting so much value out of it. And it sort of feels like a mechanic that you can always press, rather than feeling that you're hard pressed to save it and savor it, really is probably the right word, to when it's most efficient. So I'm not really a big fan of the constant availability of it at the moment, but that's sort of where it is at the moment. Any other cool buildings we can get? Den Haag, apparently very good for this tar. Now, we are building quite a lot of military buildings, so I can see why that is. We'll get a few more of them. We could do for some charcoal kilns, actually. We'll continue building up the ones in Rotterdam. That's quite a good industry for us. Are we importing coal or are we just demanding it? Yeah, we are importing quite a lot. So there'll be good effective buildings. Now tools, tools are always useful. But to be honest, we can probably just start thinking about urbanization. Let's start with, actually no, I'm wrong. Let's keep going on our RGOs. We have a lot of very valuable RGOs that we're not making the most out of at the moment. Yeah, let's keep going on them. Even the wool ones, because our wool prices, our wheat price is magnificently high at the moment, which is good and bad. But obviously, if we can get our wool production up, that means we'll actually be making more money for our economy. We're obviously going to go for a census, as we need as much population as possible. We'll support free subjects. We'll address some toll castle complaints, and we'll see if we can get some lucky events. Oh, we just got some extra parliament support. Lovely. Now, we can get our daughter married off to someone. Is there anyone decent? Wolgast, your second in line. He could be all right. Brittany. Now they're too old. Aragon is still there. What about Lorraine? He's third in line. Yeah, let's go for Wolgast. See if we can get a PU over a random German state, but why not? I mean, they're all viable for us, really. Does architectural visionary stick in the cabinet? Like if you have two of them, they'll give you the 0.02 twice and 0.04 in total. No, this is a ruler trait. So you see here, it only applies on your ruler. And same with Zealot. But the cabinet trait is this one, the fickle. So this one won't be active at the moment because this guy's our ruler. But this guy, his cabinet trait of influential is going to be in it, which gives our burghers more power. Yeah, we'll take 10%, why not? Same with this guy. He's got a schema, so bad counter-espionage. This guy's got abrasive. They've all got quite bad traits, but they've got good stats, which is why they're there. But they're only viable if they're on your cabinet, and I imagine that's the same for artists. I feel like getting CBs is pretty difficult. Oh, the Catholic Church is united again. Lovely. Behind the Pope. Brilliant. It's pretty difficult in EU5, or at least pretty much the only way I know is to get the Parliament action. Any tips on that? Well, the big one is to get the Parliament action and then threaten war if you're a great power. If you're a small nation, you can't do that. You're just going to use the Parliament action. In 1.3, you can now use the emergency Parliament if you're at war, which means you can get a double Parliament, which is lovely. What else? If you've got a rival, you can obviously do humiliate rival, destroy enemy. They're probably the most easy one. There's a bit of a cheesy one you can do, which is if you don't want to take any land, you just want to get money, you can request to purchase military access. Now, if they say no, you get a military access CB, and you can actually take land and war reps. So not land, sorry, money and war reps from that. Which is a little bit of a cheesy one. It's just meant to be able to be like, okay, right, you've denied my military access, but I'm stronger than you, so I'm just going to walk my troops through you anyway. That's the whole point of it. But you can take money in the war. So you can just use it as a money war CB, which is quite interesting. That's a little tip for you. A Deus Vult as well, so religious war. That's a good comment in the Second Age. If you go down that part of your idea tree, is a very, very good one. Request a special privilege for our circle. We can get some extra manpower, levy size. Sure, let's do it. We've got a free diplomat. France has been excommunicated. Damn, that's huge. They still don't like us. Well, I know we're still their ally, but they want our land. So we will have to fight them eventually. But we're going to have to be very careful if we do that. Let's continue expanding our RGOs. They're very profitable for us. We've got some really high control, so we get all of the economic value out of it. And the one benefit of having these tiny markets is that all of the provinces are really high market access, which means that we just get really strong production efficiency out of all of our buildings and RGOs from it. That means more goods are going into our economy, more value we're getting out of our buildings, and we're just enjoying life a whole lot more. You mentioned Denmark reminds me. I hope you consider playing Denmark. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Now, a really cool Denmark run, actually, if you're considering a new game, is a mercenary run. Because they've got some really good mercenary idea sets. I don't know if it shows us here. I wish it did. That'd be cool. I don't think it does. But they've got some really good mercenary reductions. And I know we've just got out of the mercenary meta, right? We're still kind of in it. But you can just spam mercenary buffs, which means that you can just get like really, really cheap mercs. And it's like a big play for Denmark. But obviously the problem is that they start in such a hard start position. They're like laden with debt. They've got some really bad disasters that come in, and it's quite a challenging playthrough. It's a fun one, so it's definitely one I could look into, and it's one I've tried in single player a little bit. Force is having an insane profit. Yeah, look at that RGO. I mean, look at all of our RGOs, really. Sort of the benefit of playing tool is that we've got really good control over most of our provinces. We've invested a lot into it, but it's paying dividends if we can get our RGOs up to scratch. Will you go Navy? There is the reform for the naval governor. Yeah, we're just struggling to get down there at the moment. We haven't got enough progression to the values, but we will get down there as far as we can, or as fast as we can, really. Our air is an admiral, our navy maintenance. But I really don't want to put our ruler as an admiral, just because he's so good. So I think I'm going to wait for the next generation because I want him to stay alive as long as possible. Because just look at how many strong buffs we get out of it. They are insane. By the way, thank you all for being in the stream. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like the stream, that'd be great as well. It means that it pushes it to you and your friends, and more people get to see the content. Right, any other questions in the chat? I'm looking through the wiki. The excommunicated ruler CV lets you take the land. Yeah, and it's really good. It's really strong. But obviously, we are France is our ally. And we would get absolutely decked by them at the moment if we went for it. So we're just going to continue investing our economy and getting our strength up at the moment. We've got a lot of money coming through the doors, so we've got no drawback from doing it, really. And we've got our nobility loyal to us now, really. We can tax them at the maximum, and they're still positive satisfaction, which is brilliant. And a large part of that is because we changed our succession law. But we've still got partition inheritance anyway. So, which means that the oldest male child and the minor descendants get minor titles, etc., etc. And if we wanted to change it, we'd have to get rid of right to inherit, which we could do, to be fair. Our nobility are properly curtailed. Our stability is getting up properly at the moment, which is nice. We do need a lot of pop promotion speed as we start to urbanize. And it's really cheap because we're so tiny. Like, it's only costing us 14. If you don't know, the Baltic Grain event has a follow-up that you get the needed advantage and it rewards pop growth. Well, that's good. I like that. Maybe let's keep investing in our grain then. I mean, yeah, it's a really high price anyway, so they're going to be quite profitable. People are still joining our coalition. Let's see if we can reduce that. But I do want to... Yeah, it's getting quite big. I do want to declare war on it soon enough, though. We've still got France. Have we got any CBs at the moment, actually? Just on France. Okay, so we'll wait for our next parliament. Push for traditional economy because you can make bank on your RGOs. It's not a bad idea if you're a good RGO place, but we're not really, right? We want capital economy because we want to have our entire country urbanized. I know we're not there yet, but we will be soon enough. Sorry, this location ranks I'm looking for. Yeah, we want all of this to be cities and towns, right? And capital economy is really good for that because all of your buildings here will get extra production efficiency, which will push more money into your markets and allow you to make more money off your existing buildings, which we absolutely want to do. So that is our plan, and that's why we're going capital economy. But the good thing about it is that it's situational, right? There is no, oh, this one is better and over this one. It's what is best for your country. And that's a really good place for a game to be in. Curtail nobility is glorious now. Absolutely, it's just not very. It is viable. It's just I think we've got a better option at the moment for this sort of save. We could petition the Imperial Diet to start a law if we really wanted to. No military contribution. I mean, why not? I don't mind helping the HRE centralize a bit because if we can take control over it, that would be brilliant. We could think about actually, are we eligible for emperorship? Yeah, we are. We just have to get our score up. So we could go for it. But obviously, having Bohemia as the emperor does give us that protection at the moment, which is always good. So we've just got the education of the elites policy. What do we want to choose for this one? So education of the court would be quite good for us because we've got a lot of cabinet strength. But so would education of the people. It would reduce the estate satisfactions, but it would give us a lot of literacy. Mixed institutions could be quite good as well. It will push us quite hard into innovative and help us get literacy for our burghers and nobility. Open institutions would be decent, but we've just got the institutions, so probably not. So I'm between these three at the top. Now, if we want to get to plutocracy, we'll probably evict this one from the two. So we're between education of the people and mixed institutions. And I think, well, that's a big decision. Do we want spiritualist, which gives us conversion speed, resistance to the Reformation, which will be happening pretty soon, or well, relatively soon in the grand scheme of things? Or do we want to go humanist, which would really help us if we go wide? So I think it probably makes sense for us to stay spiritualist. So we will go for mixed institutions. We're going to get a lot of burgers pop, so it will help us with our literacy and tech rate. Do artists actually do anything? I really thought the impact was 0. Yes, it's changed in 1.3.2. So your artists now have traits and they affect your economy and stuff if they've got specific traits. And we can check if art does something. Let's have a quick look. So we've got, yeah, so you get these like buffs from your art. And they're okay. It's nothing crazy, right? But it does all add up. And we do have quite a lot of artists at the moment. Oh, Luxembourg has called us in against France. That's who's on Luxembourg's side? I don't want to fright my ally. Yeah, let's not do that. Sorry, dude. I wish I could defend you, but we're just not strong enough at the moment. Yeah, let's keep upgrading our grain provinces. We need to get out of this little crisis at the moment. Luckily, we've got a lot of people going around. Thank you for the census helping us out on that one. The 5% maximum tax is ridiculous. Yeah, it's really good. Artists do come with 1 trait. Oh, shit. No! Oh, we might be dead. Our coalition's fired and France has abandoned us. That's really bad. Okay, we are in problem territory. So what we're going to do is we're going to cancel as many RGOs as we can cancel for cheap. Only those ones, really. Get rid of you as well, just because you're going to be in the firing line. And we're going to need to make as many regulars as we can. We've got a decent manpower reserve, luckily, but we are in proper trouble here. Now, let's have a look at the new loan system. So we've just taken a loan, now credit. So we have this one. So we have a 6.71% interest, which is nice. We can request a loan from a country. They would be at the same interest rate. So fair enough. Or you can issue a government bond. A government bond is a form of long-term debt. Unlike an estate loan, it has no expiry date and it's never repaid automatically. So I guess the issue is if you just keep it going, the interest just goes round and round and round until you pay it back. But it's a much lower interest rate, so we can do that as well. Let's do that. Let's test it out. We can declare bankruptcy. Obviously, the penalties are horrific, so we don't want to do that. Our bond interest, our bond value, foreign loans, credit worthiness is 64. So I imagine if we pay back our debt on a timely way without going bankrupt, our credit worthiness will go up, which will reduce our interest rate, which is quite interesting. But now we've got a significant amount of money. So let's get some serious troops into the pot. We'll go for 1 unit of men-at-arms to hold our front. We'll go for a unit of camp followers just to get some supply issues. And we'll go for a unit of cavalrymen. We'll see what we can get down the line as well. I don't want to bankrupt us too much, but we do need to survive this. And we are obviously in problem territory. Let's pull back on our investment in stability now. We've got quite a lot. We'll keep our fort maintenance up. Sadly, we don't have many forts on the eastern, which is probably a bit of an issue from my perspective. Fortification. Usually, we've just sort of been carried by France. Now, we do have the zone of control protecting our little major port cities or port towns at the moment, which is good. We don't have a castle in our capital, though, and that's something we will want to change as soon as possible. Now, have we summoned our levies? Yes, we have. So let's just get over to Den Haag, because we can't be hurt there, because we've got the forts surrounding it. And then we can just do a bit of a phased defense. We don't need to worry about any supply. We can just go around stack wiping people and wipe them out as they come to us. Now, we need to get our subjects as well on supportive. Otherwise, we are going to be in a major problem. So can we do that, please? Current subjects. All on supportive, please. Lovely. And then we will enable attachment once our army has been melded together. I can't believe France has abandoned us. Let's start improving relations with other regional partners. As if we want to go for France, we're going to need some friends. But I've just abandoned my Luxembourg allies to support France, which is a problem. Now, we do have quite a good army now, luckily. But the reason we've got such high levies and such a low area is because of our high control. Because control directly increases your levy size. We've got this general, which he looks pretty good. Let's rebalance our armies, but our cavalry on the flanks is quite significant amounts of cavalry. And let's push out and see what we can do some damage with. Am I streaming somewhere else? Nope, just on YouTube. The reason why I'm not looking at chat as much as I usually do is because I don't want to crash EU5 again. That's the problem. I do need a second monitor if I'm honest. It will happen. I need to speed up that idea to stop the tabbing out issues. Let's see if we can get that 5k in the north actually quickly. Now, because obviously the coalition attacked us, we can't separate peace people, which is sad. Oh, we've just got docks. That's lovely. Let's start going on our docks. Brilliant. Lovely. Let's see if we can stack wipe you. We're just going to get as many battles won as possible and get that war score up. The faster we can piece this out, the better. We can probably call an emergency parliament now because we're in a war. Let's do that through our burghers. Lovely. And we are going to do sponsor a university, cheaper university, and it pushes to innovative. Let's do it. That's really strong. Let us do a movement for, I guess, serfdom, reduce the prestige. Obviously, you can't separate peace people, which is a problem for us, but we're just going to win this as fast as possible. And then we'll get the coalition to disband against us, which will give us a 15-year break in the coalition, which is always nice. I do have a Twitch. I should put the link in the description. I just haven't really used it yet. It's because I just find it easier to engage with people if you're on one platform. It's probably something I will look at doing in the future just to expand to a new audience, if I'm honest. But at the moment, I'm just on YouTube. Send people to the crusade if you have diplomats. That's not a bad idea, actually. We could try and get some like holy orders to help us, but I just think we will be fine on our own. For now, at least. Are there any other estate actions we could do on the way? We could get legitimacy. Yeah, let's do it. We could increase our levy size, but we don't really need it. We've got a strong enough professional army. We just need to be very careful with the battles we take, but we're going very well at the moment, which is nice for us. Nice. I don't know why our war score is so low. Yeah, minus 57%. It doesn't say why. I'm guessing that's because of occupation. We've got the maximum war score from battles now, though, and we've pretty much wiped out their armies. They're down to a similar army size to us. Let's save our vassals' army. That should make them like us more. They're very disloyal at the moment, which is a slight problem. Push up. Luckily, we've got such a strong economy, so we're in a really good position. Aren't you worried about food? Not at the moment. We're in a good position. But we do need to improve our wheat RGOs when we get out of this war. Supply is obviously a gigantic issue at the moment with these, with wars. Because you can just stack people quite consistently, but that's why we invested in supply carts. To give us that backup reservoir of food if we need it. Come on. Hopefully we wipe them out here. Lovely, it's a nice stack wipe. Now we can think about splitting up our army and just unsieging our provinces, and we should just be done with this coalition. Let's get, why not we just put our duke on it? Nah, I want him to have a navy trait, if anything. But let's try, we can try and do that quickly if we can find some transport somewhere. A bit risky. They are... This is how you get a naval trait. So they're all transports. So if we knock them, that specific province, out of the port, we'll knock that into our one galley, and it should just one-shot it, which would get our ruler to have a naval trait, which will help us push naval. We're just going to start unsieging our provinces. We do need to get some better allies now, though, especially as France has abandoned us. How are diseases looking now? They're a lot better. They're no longer stupid that they just sort of murder you as far as you go through, which is brilliant, obviously. No one like that. They're really good. I say really good. They're still diseases, right? They still murder a hell of a lot of people, but they're a lot better than they were, is what I meant. Oh, I sieged the wrong province. Lovely. Question. He does have RGO grains. Yeah, we've got a decent amount of food RGOs. It's just not obviously there's a reason why you have a grain crisis in the Netherlands because it happened historically and it's an event. But it's not horrifically bad because it does increase the price, which is good for our economy as long as we can get the demand to subsequent it. But obviously our population aren't going to be happy with the new increased price. Did we get a naval trait? We did. There we go. So now we can return to port. Let's go and wipe out this army if possible, and we should be about done with this coalition war. We do want to dismantle the coalition peace deal. Oh, we can do that now, to be fair. But I want to do some more damage first. If you hurt my economy, I'm going to hurt yours, mate. Could we actually push naval now? We can get it up a little bit higher. If I get my air on the navy as well, that could help. Yeah, plus 0.42. So when we get our army shut down, that could be really good for getting to 50 naval. Obviously, we want the harbour administration policy for obvious reasons. Yo, we're being cooked there. What's going on? Why is their army so... Yeah, let's pull back from that. That went terribly. Can we, maybe just should end this coalition. Oh, we can't anymore. Okay. That went horrifically bad. I don't know why. Is it because they were not split up and not balanced properly? I'm guessing that's why. We've got a good general. We've got good quality. I don't really know what the problem was there. Let's see if we can win a few more battles. Be a bit careful. Done siege these provinces in the south quickly. Lamau, you just joined and the war pops up. Yeah, maybe you're a bad influence, mate. Thank you for being there. Yeah, France is my bitch. Maybe that was moments before disaster. Your research doesn't affect merc troops, right? No. When you hire mercs, it's based on the research of the place you're hiring them from. So obviously, if they're mercs in our territory, come on. There we go. That's huge. Now, even though we just defeated that army quite severely, it won't let us peace out, which is frustrating. I don't know what's going on with this UI issue here, but I think we just need to unsiege our stuff quite quickly and we'll be fine. Can we peace out? No. Yeah, we just need to get this coalition over and done with ASAP. I wish our vassal would help us, but they're very disloyal at the moment. Where are we? Come on, guys. Let's get this over and done with. Can we get any more docks to get that maritime presence up? Yes, we can. Lovely. Right, someone else to join the coalition. We can't leave because of war enthusiasm and the current peace deal value. But we're at 42%. Okay, let's reconsolidate our army. We might have to think about mercs if we can't get it done. But to be fair, we could do some more professional troops. That's the other option. Let's keep together. We'll rebalance. And let us get a unit of... Yeah, let's just do some more cavalrymen. They are the strongest troop in the game. Let's use them. It makes sense. Please attach to me, dudes. I would really love it if you did. Can we improve relation with anyone we want to? Let's just do Bohemia. Getting them to like us will be really useful. We'll wait for those new cavalrymen to come up, and then we should be good enough to wipe out our enemies. There's only negative 19. If we can just disband this coalition, then we can go after our real enemies in a few years' time. Which will be France at this rate. Obviously, we need some strong allies for that, though. We could think about Castile for our next diplomat. Now, should we try and go for this army here? Protective harbours. That's going to be brilliant for our maritime presence and harbour capacity. For our next research, we will just quickly go for some... What have we got available to us? I guess barks. If we want to get our maritime presence up. We've got no money now. Yeah, we'll worry about the rest later. If you saw that religious war CB that you can get there, that's a very easy way to get CBs for the guy who was asking earlier. Not so many forts, right? Yeah, we probably should have invested in some forts, considering the amount of AE we've got. We can do that in a little bit. Come on, if we win this battle, we've won the war. There we go. And a stack wipe. Lovely. Now, who is it? Cleves who started it. I believe, yeah, Cleves. We could go for them. Let's do it. If we take them and try and annex them in the war, it'd be very nice. Are they only are they an OPM? Yeah, it's a free city. And it's got our culture, right? Yeah, low Franconian. But we do want to disband. Oh, you can't disband the coalition, sadly, if you take them. But I just want to annex them. Let's just get them out and done with. It's our coalition. It'll be good for us. Let's start integrating that province. And we are finally at peace, which is lovely. We didn't really lose much. We lost about 10,000 pops, which isn't amazing. But it's better than dying, right? Now, we need to sort of... Let's chuck some money into our Diplo spending. Let's get our levies down. And let's see who we can ally. Because we need to get some fresh friends. What do you mean making bank? It's an English term for making a lot of money. Sorry for the confusion. A professional army being comically overpowered should be a thing starting with the 80 Years' War. I mean, it always used to be. It sort of is. Has France rivaled us? They better not have rivaled us. They have. They've rivaled us. Oh, well, you can bugger off then. You're no longer my friend. We need to get some new friends if France have rivaled us. The Bohemia is going to be friend number 1. Now, we're going to have to start fortifying as well. We're going to need to fortify this border quite considerably if we ever want to survive. We can do fortress cities with the urban rights, which is good. Let's quickly check the topography map mode. And the big problem for us is that obviously all of our terrain is horrific. Let's get one in Antwerp. I know it's not great terrain, but it's our capital. It's all flatland, right? And that's the reason why Holland was always like invaded throughout history, just because they just didn't have the terrain to defend against anyone. It's why like Hitler and stuff could go straight through, and it's why another reason is why Poland, right? Poland's terrain is so flat that you can just go straight through it. The Great Eastern Plain. It's like the historical object of terrain is actually so important. So Catholics get free legitimacy every 5 years. Yeah, like the state actions are so strong. Wait, here is a dissolved coalition peace treaty. Yeah, we could do it. We chose not to in the end because I wanted to annex them, just to get Cleves out and done with and dead. But we've shown that we can beat our coalition. We're strong enough. We just need to get our control up as high as possible. So we've got more levies in the future, and obviously getting our population up will help with that as well. Aren't arty the strongest unit? Not at the moment. They can be in later ages, but cavalrymen are the strongest at the moment, just because of how good that army initiative is. And that actually reminds me, it's probably worth us, if we are at risk of a slight France war, it's probably worth us going down for that army initiative tech. Just to, if we're spamming cavalrymen, we're going to want to kill them as fast as possible, right? And initiative is, as a value, is how fast it takes your troops to get into the battle, which is quite important. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for being here. If you're new, it's good to see you all. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps the channel, and liking the stream as helps as well, and that would be really appreciated. There's also a Discord link in the chat. If you scroll up to the top, it would be great to have you guys in our midst. Now, we are encouraging naval, and we're pretty close, but we're not close enough. So what can we do to get it up to scratch? Well, our army maintenance is a problem. Let's reduce our army maintenance. I know we've got this fancy professional army, and we do want it. Let's make a few new armories, actually, as well, because we need to we need to get some manpower if we're going to fight the French. What is our Diplo limit like? Our Diplo limit is very good. So what other allies can we get? England? England still hate us, but that's mostly because we're a likely target of the coalition. But can we get rid of our coalition? Munster, let's improve with you. Is there anyone else in it? No, but there are a few options of who could join it. Let's improve with Flanders, because we don't want them joining our coalition if they're under France's thumb, because that would be very bad. If they could just like join our coalition under France, France joins the coalition, that is our game over at that point, right? So we've got to be quite careful. Let's keep going on a few armories while we can. We've got to prepare for this war now, and then we've got to get some new forts. And I do think in this little woodland limit here, And surrounding the Flanders bit is our probably best fort line. We've got the economy, so we're fine. It's not really that big of a problem if we do have issues. We're now 44 to naval. So our army size is still annoying us. If we deleted our army, it would help us. But is there anything else we can do to get further down naval? Have we got noble navy? Yes, we do. Have we got the naval one here? I believe we do as well, but I obviously don't want to benefit our burghers anymore. Is there anything we can do here? Not really. Have you guys got any other ideas how we can get that extra 6% towards naval? Is Aragon alive? Can you get them to help against France? They're alive, but they're tiny. Castile is probably the best option. We can try and improve relations with them. They are minus 52 to be our friends, but if we get some extra opinion with them, it might help. We can also try the Pope. The Pope's quite good for joining wars against France. The issue is obviously France will just decimate all of them with their strong army. So we really need England just to take away some of that attention, really. And once we can get a strong professional army, we can just sort of win it ourselves. We just need them to take effort away from us. Let's just keep going with as many armies as we can at the moment. It's a good thing we've got so many gunsmiths. And that will really help us to keep up the demands and keeping it not costing an arm and a leg. Rip bows at the France war will be hell. Yeah, just a little bit. But it's a long way away, hopefully. They do not like us, though. So we could think about also doing a spy network prematurely, which is probably a good idea. Can't you give a gift to England to get your relations up? Yes, but England's also not very strong. I don't want to waste money on them. But we are improving relations at the moment. I think that should sort us out. It's minus 28. We just need to get rid of the coalition. That's going to be the biggest thing. So if we can get Munster to leave our coalition, that would be huge. We've also got Limburg. We can try and improve relations with them, get them out of it, which would be really useful. And we'll get on that in a second. Can we ally Bohemia yet? I think we've already done it. Yeah, we have already done it. Build a bigger navy. Yes, we can definitely do that. But we need to focus on our army at the moment and getting our defences up for a potential France war. That's why we're not just rushing straight into it. Greta, are you a wetland? Yes, you are. So let's get a fort here as well. Yeah, we just need to really focus on getting this this defensive line sorted first. Then we can worry about the rest later on. We can also get some, if we can get our second urban right, or like cities, we can start getting fortress towns and stuff to make it a lot more defensible as well. I just opened the stream. Do you guys know how I can see my diplo capacity? Yeah, just hover over here. Maximum of 3 diplomats here, and you can improve your slider here, which then increases your diplomatic capacity there. Obviously, it does cost money, but if you're more of a tall country rather than a wide country, it'll be cheaper relatively. Legitimacy for development, sure. We might be able to just get some free legitimacy anyway. Cabinet member for a courtier. I mean, why not? Doesn't really cause us any issues. We can't get any free legitimacy at the moment. We can get a free emergency grant, though. That's just free money, right? Once again, that money is coming out of nowhere. So that does seem overtuned as hell. But I'm not going to say no. Topography. Can we get any? Not really. Probably worth us doing one on our southern border. We'll go for a fort here. In Moors. Just in case we are in a gigantic war of a coalition again. And we'll do one in this state too. I guess we'll do one here. And we just want a bit of a fort line, so we can do one here as well. Castle. Maybe here as well. It's going to be expensive, but we need to prioritize our own safety here at the moment, rather than our economic efficiency. Now, we've got a fort in Brussels, which should cover there. It's whether we only want one fort. But maybe a fort in Bergen could be a good idea. Unfortunately, we haven't got any good terrain around here. But that should protect the provincial capital. That's probably enough forts for us. We've invested quite a lot into it. We could potentially go back for naval fortification licenses, just to make it cheaper. But I don't want to ruin our naval progress at the moment. Do you think recruitment laws have one with naval? Yes, that's a good idea. We can have a look at that into our next parliament. This guy, he could develop a province. He could stabilize. Yeah, let's just get strengthened government at the moment. We want to get our legitimacy back up to 100% as soon as possible. Can we get some free stability from our peasantry? Yes, we can. Let's do that. 76 stab is brilliant. We can think about No! See, that's why I really didn't want to make him a naval leader, but I ended up doing it anyway, and I really regret it now. We've now got the worst king I've ever seen. That's really painful. Okay, let's see if we can get some really good privileges. That one's quite good. Can we get one for 3 subjects potentially? We don't want to reduce our levy size considering the current issues. Partial yield could be okay for the food consumption. Anything in the nobility really? Doesn't look like it. Or elite council is one we were considering. Yeah, let's do that. I think that was before we had the cheeky little crash, but we can't change that. But it's done now. So Limburg was the one we wanted to improve relations with, right? To get rid of our coalition. Or we could just get like invade it. That's the other option. But we'll try it. Trier, we're already improving relations with. Anyone else? I guess Tecklenburg. Let's do it. Let's just try and get as many people out of it as possible, and that'd be brilliant. We can lower war exhaustion. Now that's a good idea. Yeah, they've got some hefty debuffs, so if we can get that down as fast as possible, that'd be brilliant. Now our economy is struggling already because we are we've obviously invested quite a lot into these forts, but it's a necessary evil considering our circumstances. We'll pull back on our Diplo spending just a little bit to save as much money as possible. But yeah, we are spending a lot of money. Have we got the protected harbours? Yeah. No, we don't. Yeah. Now, protected harbours are quite good. They're also quite underrated. Nowhere near as strong as coastal forts, though, but they give good harbour capacity. So if you're trying to get proximity through naval, which we're not at the moment, we're doing it through roads. They're quite good. So we'll worry about that later. Oh, there we go. We're still here. Any RGOs we can get, that's good. We can continue going on the wheat. That's always quite nice considering our food issues. And we've got a free cabinet slot as well. Is there anything we can integrate? No, not really. He's got pretty shocking stats anyway. He's our uncle, but he's still in our crown estate. Yes, he is. Lovely. We can try pushing to innovative and getting down that. We're really struggling to get that 50% naval, but we can. We'll get there eventually. Our next parliament might be enough. Now, are there any extra allies we can get at the moment? No, still Denmark is the only one, but they're not very big. With 13,000 levies is actually quite significant. It's good to see you, Mustario. Thank you for being here. There you go. You can have a daughter named after you, my friend. Any other bridges we can make? We've done a few more. Done a few more roads recently, so it could be an option. Yeah, there's a new one. Lovely. Getting as much control is very important to us at the moment. When you have a king that bad, doesn't it get at you at the top of the screen like Sweden at GameStart? It does. And we tried. We gave him a very good education. He's just that shit. There we go. We'll join their order. Why not try and make England like us a bit more? If we can get them as an ally, that'd be brilliant. It's -3 at the moment. Anything else we can do? We need to try and get a good air and just kill this guy as soon as possible. We'll put him on our navy. Like I said, I really don't mind if he dies. But that should keep our naval progress up. And we should probably get an expensive education on our air just to try and get him as strong as possible. I wish we weren't having to spend so much on our army, but we kind of have to, considering the predicament. They've got 6,000 levies, which is a problem. And our manpower still isn't even up to scratch. So we're going to need more armories. Which is going to be even more expensive. Now, I'm going to imagine our gunsmiths might be quite profitable now. Because of... Oh, no, not yet. Still time, though, I guess. A prospering monastery, sure. Take prosperity, it's always quite nice. We're still developing Antwerp, which should be quite good in the long term. Careful with the daughter now. Always the way. This one's quite sickly, so we're going to lose him, I think. But we just need to keep this... Oh, we've got a prodigal daughter. I didn't see that. Yes, we need some expensive education for her. If only we could change our succession law. We are getting quite a few prodigies. We've been pretty lucky recently. Let's do some minting. I want some educations quickly. The inflation's going to be painful, but it's not the end of the world. But any really strong RGOs we can get as well, that will give us a big economic advantage quick. It doesn't look like it. But the wall keeps saying it'd be very effective. But look, there's a lot to go around. We've got a lot of progression that we can do. Also, just an IRL thing. I don't know if you guys know, but the World Cup starts today, which is quite interesting. If you guys are into your football, we can get a new card on the seat. Let's do that. So it's going to start a period of me of just watching like 6 football matches a day, and it's going to be insane. I cannot wait. Children can have better education, yeah. I'm annoyed I didn't see the Prodigy earlier. Otherwise, I would have absolutely invested in some better education even earlier. But we've found out, hopefully early enough, that we can get her some good stats. Because she's either going to be an insane cabinet minister or hopefully a queen for ourselves. Yeah, our coalition hopefully leaves. Let's quickly move to diplomatic endeavours. And we can try and get this coalition over and done with ASAP. Yeah, let's get the education on her. Lovely. Increases our cost of court, but obviously because we're so tall, the cost of court isn't really an issue. Now our stability is going down slowly, but we're getting some good buffs from it, so it's not really a problem. We've still got this credit, so we've got these loans that we need to get rid of eventually. We'll get rid of this international loan, otherwise it will just cycle around again. We've got 5 months to do it. And then that should hopefully increase our credit worthiness if we pay it back. We've still got this this government bond, which is perpetually making us pay interest. But I don't think we can afford to get rid of that at the moment. But we've got the professional army that we spent the money on, which is good. But we're losing quite a lot of population every month to army maintenance, which is annoying. But nothing we can really do about it. We need a professional army if we want to beat France. We could obviously go down the mercenary route as well. But that is periled. But we've got a good fort line now. Quite significantly, if I show you. Fortification. So we've got zone of control over all of our land. So they can't just rush to our cities. So we can sit back and make them siege us down, losing a lot of troops, and we can play quite defensive if a war does break out. I wanted to get rid of that debt, didn't I? Let's do that. Bardi should be happy with us. If we get State Bank, that could be really, really useful for us. They give you some really, really good cheap loans. But I do like this new government bond system. It does seem quite cool. And it's a reduced interest as well, which is always quite nice. But we might get to a point where we sort of have bonds higher in our GDP, like modern economies. I think Britain, where I live, is up to like something stupid, like 99% of our GDP is spent on, or is like equal to our debt, which is madness. But what can you do about it? Can you say, England, score some fucking goals? I need to, I can get you a quote if I re-listen to the meme. It's like the Bosh 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 one, isn't it? That will literally... Hey, the coalition's gone. Lovely. Now, France is trying to be friends with our subjects. But because the coalition is gone, we should hopefully be able to ally England. Yes, there we go. That's going to be huge for us. And then we can think about actually going after France. A very tall game, obviously, guys, right? Preparing for wars the entire time. But, yeah. A necessary evil considering where we start. Obviously, we are in quite a tumultuous starting location. Let's get some more armories so we can have our manpower ticking up as we go. And we've got our parliament, which is lovely. So we can conduct another census. We can get some cheap armories, but it's only one. We'll go for a census. We need as much population as possible. Now, we will adapt to innovative ideas. We will... Oh, we can change to balanced court if we want. Nah, a legislative efficiency is just really crap. Free development in Den Haag. That's a really good place for it. Estate satisfaction and prestige, or go defensive. Yeah, we'll go free development, please. And we're at 54%. So we could actually go for a law change now. Now, we've got the maritime law for naval things. What about the recruitment law? Is there a naval one? Not at the moment. We probably need a bigger navy. It's probably the only way to actually get to 50 naval, which is annoying. Unless you guys have got any other ideas. For our mining law, we're still on the founding town one, because we're going to be going quite urbanized soon enough once we actually get some money for it. We could go for central council. That could be decent. We are still decentralized, which is bad. Or we could go for a CB on somewhere like Frisia and go for a cheeky war. I mean, what's our truce with them like? It's almost done. And they will join a coalition as soon as they start. I think we'll change our law. We'll go to a central council and we'll get some extra cabinet efficiency. And getting more cabinet efficiency might help us actually get to naval. Because that's the other way that we haven't done yet. Just pushing, getting a really good cabinet minister. And hopefully we can get this daughter to be stupidly powerful. We can get her as our like god cabinet, head of cabinet. And then she might be the one to be able to get us to 50 naval. Because we are still, how far are we off? Are we 40? Yeah, we're still about 40. 45, actually. Yeah, we're really close, but we're 5 off, which is annoying. Our spy was discovered in France, which is really annoying. There's nothing we can really do about that. Debt is just a number. We can request another bond. To be fair, we could. That's not a bad idea. Saying we could request another bond to take to pay the other bond, but I don't think it's worth it because it's the same interest rate anyway. It's actually a higher interest rate. We'll pay it back at some point. Doesn't matter if we lose the conductor census. We still get the people, which is good. We could think about doing some market villages if we want to maximize our population growth. That's actually a step we could do, but I do want to get our economy as strong as possible first before we start focusing on things like min-maxing how much we can get our population growth. But it's definitely an option we could definitely do. Are there any like fancy buildings we can go for, like sawmills and stuff? Not really. We don't exactly have many of those type of buildings. I do really want this province. This is iron. And there's a lot of really good land in Flanders as well. Some really good modifiers. So if we could get that all under the Netherlands, we'd like amazing. But it doesn't look like it's happening at the moment. Let's start getting a spy network in Frisia, actually. Because we'll be able to go for like a humiliate rival CB next, which would be quite good for us. Isn't the World Cup tomorrow? No, it starts tonight. The first game is 8 o'clock tonight, British time. I don't know what time zone you are, but yeah, it starts tonight. What else have we got available to us? So we've still got a measles outbreak. We could do some hospitals. Probably not a bad idea considering our population shenanigans. But I still would like to keep our economy growing as fast as possible. Let's try and min-max this wall province, actually. And then we can always encourage some migration to it. Just to get the RGO filled out as fast as possible. And then we can always go for some buildings in here to get as much value as possible. Like a monastery or something like that. Market villages. I do love a market village, as we know. Let's make a market village for old time's sake. We'll see if we can get it viable in 1.3. It's because something that really annoyed me in 1.2 is that market villages were just crap. There was like no reason to build them at all. Like the only reason was really to provide a pool of like burgers to go into your capital buildings, but it just wasn't worth the money. And the market access wasn't really worth it either. So hopefully it's better this patch, but we'll find out. But to be fair, it doesn't really make sense for them to be so strong, so I do understand it. Yeah, just fill out these RGOs as fast as we can. Anything else? See, the problem is we're just stuck between these 3 markets at the moment. Bruges, Den Haag. I would love it all to be in one market. I could delete our 2 markets, but then that's a bit of a napalm approach to the issue. Spinners Guilds, yeah, they're not very profitable. Weaponsmiths will be, though. Because we've got so many armories being made, we will want as many weaponsmiths as possible. And we'll probably go for some tanneries as well. Because the lower we can get the goods prices for our armories, it means they'll be cheaper. And our army will be cheaper. So we're finally getting progression to innovative, which is lovely. We do want to get our son that expensive education as well, don't we? Yeah, let's do that as our next minting, and then we'll cut minting after that. Our inflation is getting crazy. But hopefully our investments into our military should help us out. It's tomorrow. Oh, I swear it was today. Oh, I apologise. I was wrong. Thank you for letting me know. That's good to know. Oh, yeah, I thought it was today. My bad. No, you're right. Yeah, it is at 8 o'clock tomorrow. That's good to know. I've now got my evening free. Woo. I've got to watch the England game, sadly, because we will just pass it and play shite defensive football in a friendly, and it's going to be a waste of time. But if you're a fan, you've got to do it, you know? That is the the peril of being a football fan. You're there for good times and bad. Just put 400,000 people into your capital and make it a megalopolis. You'll be extra tall with that. I mean, it's not the worst idea in the world, and we'll probably do it eventually. But considering our population capacity is only 250k at the moment, probably not the best idea in the world. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. We've got a long game ahead of us. Can we get any more alliances? If we invaded France, I know we're not going to, right? But we would have England would join, Bohemia wouldn't join because they've got a truce and they've got a border distance problem. They're allied with Portugal. So we could invite settlers, try and get some more people from Flanders. Yeah, let's do it. And we'll invite it into our capital province. Thank you, Flanders. If only we could get them to be like support their independence against France, then we could just invade them ourselves. That would be brilliant. We could actually do that, you know. That's actually an insane idea. Right, I need to cut this minting as we're just getting stupid amounts of inflation. I forgot about it. Let's decide our next researches in the meantime. We want to push for... We could go for rag paper. We could go for a proper navy like Carrick's. A disease resistance could be quite good. We'll go for local councils quickly. Then we will push down for rag paper, counting houses, mercenary reductions, and then that should be done by the time we end up at war with France, which will be guaranteed to happen eventually. It's just obviously not happening yet. It's tomorrow, but I successfully gave you a heart attack. My bad. Apologies. See, I'm happy I've got an extra day to prepare my fantasy team, though. If you guys are ever playing fantasy football, there's a World Cup one. I don't know if there's any prizes on offer, but it's something to do to pass the time, other than just play meaningless. Loads and loads of EU5, which is always the vibe at the moment. Let's reduce Flanders' reputation with France. They're now only slightly loyal. No, I wish we could support their independence. I'm going to keep an eye on that, because if they get below 50%, that could be really useful. Soak and discontent we could do. Sabotage reputation we've already just done. But we can do it on the opposite foot, actually. Let's try that. Yeah, our economy is stagnating at the moment because we've just spent so much on our army and forts. We can't really do much about that. Good thing we've got a lot of diplomats coming through, though, and then we can try and do some fancy stuff. We can we could ask for money from Flanders. I mean, yeah. Thanks. Are you trying to make me free you? Like, that would be brilliant, but I'll take it. Are you going to make a multiplayer on streams? Absolutely. That is the goal. You just need to get to a point where the game is stable enough to do it. Now, 1.3.2 is looking a lot better, but I want to see where our chickens lie first, because the game just hasn't been in a stable enough point of view yet. So once it is, we will absolutely do a multiplayer. We did try it before, but I wasn't available, so it didn't go very well. But if I'm there to organise, we should be in a lot better of a better perspective, I should say. Welcome everyone to the stream. Thank you for joining. If you're here, it's good to see you all. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, and feel free to check out the channel membership as well. It does help me spend the time to create this content. Thank you for everyone who's joined recently as well. There's been a few today. We are currently playing till Holland, and we are a little bit worried about a France war on the horizon. Let's pull back our diplomatic spending now. We've got a lot of free diplomats. We want to check their loyalty. 41%, right? So, I haven't tried to do this in EU5. Can we support independence? There must be a way. Unless I just can't figure it out. We can guarantee France's subjects, I think. That would... Giving them a CB if they're annexed. So we'll start by doing that. We've just guaranteed like France's independence. And we've got two very strong allies, so we should be fine if they go for us. Just can't find if it's a support independence mechanic like an EU4. Charters. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, which is annoying. Propose ruler. Yeah. I mean, we could always try and release them in war or transfer them to us, which would be good. But we obviously have to beat the French for that, which is quite a hard task, just a little bit. Our fort maintenance is crazy stupid. Why is that? Oh, we're over our fort limit substantially. Ah, okay. Are there any forts we can reduce without destroying ourselves? No, not really. Maybe Den Haag? I think we just keep it at the moment. Like, I know it's expensive. We could give noble fortification rights, but at the moment we're just in such a threat. We can't risk it. But yeah, fort limit is a painful thing. Yeah, 70% increased fort maintenance. Is there anything we can do to increase our fort limit? Border wardens. That's 10%. It's quite far down that tree though. I don't think it's worth going all the way down there at the moment. Sand pit would be quite viable, apparently. What are we using our sand on? Glass guilds and tanneries. But that doesn't make sense. We're importing a hell of a lot of it. But bread is a sand RGO, so we could think about just upgrading that. Pog iron smelt is always quite viable. We're suffering from employment at the moment. How are our tanneries doing, actually, and our weaponsmiths? Because we've been investing a lot into our army. Yeah, they want weaponsmiths, so we can do that. And tanneries. All of this is just going to be more viable to getting that strong economy going. And that strong army going. Which is always good. Any more allies we can get that might potentially join the France war? Well, we can try Denmark. We've got enough diplomatic capacity to spare, I think. Yeah, we're only 1% over the limit, which isn't a problem. We can just go slightly into diplomatic spending, so that isn't a problem. Do you have debug mode enabled? No, I'm an Iron Man. So we can... I do like... I know I've always done Iron Man, so we can get achievements and prove that you're doing it legit, but you don't need to do that anymore because they've changed how the achievements work. What do you guys think about that? Do you like how Iron Man no longer is reliant for achievements? Or are you like me, where you wish it was the old system? Okay, we have a coalition problem. Our parliament is 2 years away. Can we just declare war on the coalition mechanism? I will try. Oh no, we can generate a CB on Frisia because they're our rival. Let's do that. Let's chuck our Diplo spending to the max. We'll get a spy network going in Frisia quickly, and then we can declare war on the coalition. How is the culture conversion of our cheeky little vassal going? Not great. But hopefully they'll start doing it in the future. Yeah, build spy network in Frisia, please. Thank you. We do need to start thinking about paying off our government debt as well. That'd be quite useful. Influential preacher, we'll just get some prestige. And we will keep the nobility skeletons in the closet, which is a perfect opportunity to perform a reduction on them. Try and make them a little bit more profitable because they're spending so much on this estate building upkeep. Let's do it, and we'll get some money out of it as well. But they do hate us, so we'll try and we'll probably have to appease them. Have we got as many people as we can as this would RGO Nate? Yeah, no, we're still going. So we need to wait that a little bit longer. But how is their spend? They're still spending so much on estate buildings, even with the reduction, which is really annoying. But hopefully we reduce their power a little bit. We can think about doing that on our burghers as well, actually. Artisan guilds. They do give production efficiency, to be fair, but they do obviously reduce. Now, we'll just take the emergency grant. We'll just take as much money. It's like free money. Like, it's insane. Obviously, it's not coming out of nowhere, right? We are taking their money. Ah, okay. Now, that's a problem. Do we want to risk it and try and do a war against France? Sure. We obviously don't get to call our own people in, which is really sad, but we have so many forts that we should be okay. But we need to be very, very careful of our economy because we are spending so much on this army at the moment that we are min-maxed to all hell. So let's get our taxes as high as physically possible. Oh, it seems they already are. Let's get our army combined together. We've got a decent little manpower reserve. Don't know if we've called in our vassals yet, but I hope we haven't. I know we have, sadly, just automatically. So we're going to have to be focused quite hard to get this war done because England are just going to be useless. What is the war goal? It's show superiority. Oh, it's a PUCB for the 100 Years' War. Okay. But Castile's in here as well, which is good. So we're just going to have to play very defensive, very up to scratch, and keep it going when we need to. The new is better. It's just an achievement. People can get them if they're legit. It doesn't matter. I see where you're coming from, but I don't fully agree, because in EU4 achievements meant so much because you knew they were valid. You knew that people would like form the Roman Empire and done a lot of work to get there, right? Now you have no guarantee that someone's worked hard to get there. So it gave you a form of challenge. Now you can just get achievements by cheating. And obviously challenge is in the eye of the beholder, right? We all have to, you know how much effort you've done in to get that achievement, but I just feels like a little bit devalued in comparison to what it was before. Do we want to repay our loan? Now we're at war. We can't afford to do that. We're spending so much on these buildings. Jesus, but it'd be worth it. Oh no, that's a problem. That's their professional army as well. We are going to do a full retreat. I just run away. I got cocky. We can't afford to do that. Maybe Flanders will flip now. Just need a bit of luck, please. They're loyal again. No. Right, let's put on attachment allowed. Hopefully the vassals come and just sit with me, and we're just going to chill in Den Haag until. Actually, we'll just go to this province near us. No, we'll just go to Den Haag. No, there's no food there. I can't decide. We'll just go here. Why not? And hopefully we'll just chill here until France decides to die to England. That would be nice. Or Castile. They've got a lot of flanks open. So we are probably going to get demolished here. And we might even lose land, right? But it's we're going to have limited opportunities to actually do some real damage to France. And we've got a decent professional army, hopefully. We do have, that's why we invested so much into it. Camp followers, lots of cavalrymen, even a few men at arms too. So if we've got any chance, it is now. And we could think about doing some mercenaries. If we were to gather a new... I know they've like increased the prices horrendously. But if we were to gather it, get 24 months to 2 years, we're going to get about 2,000 troops. Probably not worth it at this point in time. But that's definitely something we can think about later on. We do still want to invade this coalition as soon as possible. Just because we've got so many forts that they can just run into them and it won't cause us any problems. And we are spending an arm and a leg on these forts, so we might as well use them. Now let's try and see if we can catch out a few of these French vassals. Now the French armies have run away down to the south. We're going to have to be a little bit careful, because if they catch us, it's to show superiority war. There's a reason why we're losing so hard. Because the AI is terrible. Come on. Nice. That's a stack wipe as well. And what we're going to do is we are going to assassinate their regulars, just to make them spend money to get them back up again. Try and kill as many of these armies as possible without getting caught ourselves. This is why we invested in so many cavalry troops, because they're all on the flank and they're going to be doing a lot of damage. And if we get some more score ourselves of France, it's negative 7% at the moment. We can obviously try and do a separate peace, and we could try and release Flanders or take land from them ourselves, which would be quite good. Now, are you in the war? No, you're not. Okay, so we can't just occupy you, which is sad. Oh, but there's a random army trying to get stack wipes, and I'm not going to complain. We'll take these bits. This is all obviously come out of Luxembourg, but it's not our culture, but it's something we could think about taking. Like I said, we're trying to play tool, so we don't want to expand too much. Controversial opinion, I like to roleplay in EU5. I don't min-max, I just want to play pretend. Yeah, fair enough. Then you should... There are some good multiplayer... Oh no, we're in trouble. Just run away. There are some really good multiplayer communities for that. And you can have some good fun doing it. I'm a big multiplayer player in all games, but in EU5 too, and EU4. And just having that... It's why I play single player, is to improve and to get better for multiplayer, rather than trying to get achievements or whatever. It's, yeah, I'm a big multiplayer player, so I do completely get where you're coming from. Invite settlers. Yeah, take more settlers from Flanders, why not? 3 people, I'm not going to complain. We could use all the population we can get at the moment. Come on, England, do you want to actually come to the continent? It would be quite good if you did. Or kill off my ruler, please, that would be even better. Okay, our heir... never gave them an expensive education. Let's do that now. It's a little bit late, but it will give them some better stats. I would love to get our daughter on our throne if possible, just because she is just that good. Look at those stats. That's insane. Oh, she would make a really good cabinet minister as well, though, obviously. France are just not touching our forts at the moment, which is sad. I built them for a reason. I wish they would actually use them. I'm definitely thinking at this point that we built too many. We could always rectify that, but it just feels like a bit of a waste of money. You're even a fortress town, so if I got rid of you, it just feels like a gigantic waste. We'll get rid of Den Haag. Why not? Save a little bit of money. We've got a coastal fort, so we shouldn't be at real risk. I'll keep the others, though. Maybe Breda as well. It's because we've got the fort in Antwerp. But let's just take the fortification map quickly. Yeah, we've got the fort in Dordrecht as well, so we've got Antwerp. Let's get rid of this one. That should reduce our fort maintenance, yeah, by 10. That's absolutely worth it. Even if we did waste about a few hundred ducats in making the forts in the first place. I don't know if the achievements have ever really been without cheese. People are always just birding the EU4 to it. Oh yeah, to avoid bad events, early ruler deaths. Yeah, there was a lot of alt F4ing. And there's always like exploits and stuff that people do to get free abilities and stuff. Oh my god, he is insane. He's our second cousin. Look at those stats. I'd love him in our little fort, please. Thank you very much. We need to try and get rid of the right to inherit this one. It's going to make them really not like us. We'll wait for their thing to get up. But if we want to change our succession law, it's necessary. We should get there. And look, we are surviving against France at the moment, so we're going quite well. Minus 30%. Castile is getting absolutely chunked. But how many people are France losing? That's the big bit, right? They've lost quite a few troops. And we've got a few stack wipes ourselves. Compensate the burghers or let them lose satisfaction. They can lose some satisfaction. It's not the end of the world. Oh, we could call an emergency parliament. Let's do it. And we want to do we could do naval infrastructure. That's some really good development. We could do noble arts. Get an artist. No, we'll go naval infrastructure. It's so good. And then we'll obviously take the legitimacy from the clerical endorsement. But we'll get a cheeky courtier first, just to make the most value out of it possible. The estate interactions in 1.3 are insane. Like, these are just crazy. Like, why would you not use them? Where can we push? Yeah, we're trying to push into the French heartland here. If they come and find us, we might stand a chance, but we're probably better just running away. We do need to try and pass it, though. What's this change policy? Oh, we don't want that. We can just reduce our opinion with the Bank of Bardi. It's not the end of the world. How is our coalition doing? Is it still gigantic? Yeah, a little bit. It won't cause us any problems. No, our mother's died in a choking accident. That's really sad. How's she doing for stats-wise? 73, 84, 60. That's really good. Let's try and unoccupy our provinces. Stay as one big conglomerate. Oh, let's run away. That's cool though. There's that little slider and it shows you levies versus regulars versus mercenaries. That's cool. Yeah, we're just going to run away now. Bit of like guerrilla warfare at the moment. No, Iron Man needs to be without mods and without reloading, as long as the game is good enough. Yeah, like, I do see why people like want graphical mods and stuff. So maybe they need to make it, draw a line. So make it like you can have like UI mods and graphical mods, but you can't have like total conversion mods or whatever, really. Like, yeah, minus 52%. We're getting a little bit slaughtered here by France. We just need to unoccupy their provinces so they can't take anything from us. Ultimately, we need to keep the British alliance, and that's why we joined in the first place. I wish Flanders would flip, though, but we're just not getting very lucky at the moment, unfortunately. Den Haag is getting... Oh, no, that's a problem. Okay, we can run away. That's good, at least. Run away. We can't run away from that one. Oh, we've just been slaughtered. God, why is the French army so strong? Ouch. Yeah, maybe we want a piece out of this one, you know? Well, thank God for the fort line we built up. I think it's out of our hands now. let's put our levies back into our farms. There's nothing more we can really do. But we don't want debt. Oh, we're now in debt. Lovely. We might have to just take another bond. Oh, we can only have one government bond anyway. That's annoying. Yeah, we are in trouble. The amount of money we're spending on this army just isn't. If you're just getting like stupidly destroyed by France like that, is it really worth it? Yeah, we probably should have done it on our own terms of our own war, but we need to keep the alliance with England. So that's why we joined. And we use the opportunity to get an alliance with Castile. Yes, we can. Brilliant. But we are probably going to be significantly over our Diplo cap. Yes, we are. So who do we want to get rid of? I do kind of think we want Bohemia. Or we just go min-max on our Diplo thing. We're trying to get the capacity. Or we just firm the reductions. I think we get rid of Denmark. See how low that gets us. We just don't have a diplomat. Let's put our Diplo spending up. That does improve our... And it doesn't improve your Diplo cap anymore. Yeah, we are just stuck with being... Yeah, we just can't afford the alliance of Castile at the moment, I don't think. Even if they are a lot stronger than England. That is really sad. And we can't even get rid of them. No! Because of the because we're in the same war. Okay, we'll get rid of with Denmark. Okay, our economy is really struggling. Let's put our army maintenance down. Let's put our Diplo spending as low as physically possible. Let's stop the spy network in Frisia. I guess we can start doing the CB on Frisia quickly. Well, before we get rid of our diplomatic issues, because we are having problems at the moment. And I wish you guys would actually convert our culture, but they don't seem to be doing it much. Yeah, this economy is starting to be a bit of a problem. Let's pull back our Diplo spending completely. Yeah, France really aren't causing us many issues. They're just being a bit of a pain in our ass. We'll try and unsiege their bits, just in case a peace still happens. We will get there. We can win this, I'm sure. Yeah, we sort of have overbuilt our military, but if what's the point in overbuilding your military if it's just going to be useless? I might just shut off the armories and build up our economy, to be honest. We can if we can just make mercs. Those are armories. We've got a decent manpower pool that will keep this war going. Oh, did we lose any land there? I think we're okay. I don't think we lost anything. Maybe that one province, because we were trying to unsiege it. It's annoying. But not the end of the world. That's not too bad. At least we survived. Now, okay, we're going to make them available to hire. See if anyone hires them. That'll be good money. We'll cut our fort maintenance. We will try and declare on this coalition soon enough. And we're just going to go into full austerity mode, get our debt paid off, and then we'll start reinforcing our economy. We're going to try and outscale the French economy to win the wars. That's our new strategy. We'll profess trust with Britain because they defended us. We're still significantly over our Diplo cap, so we're going to have to get rid of this Castilian alliance, sadly. We'll just chuck our Diplo spending to the max for a second so we can get rid of it. Because the debuffs are just that big, it's not worth it. How far are we off naval? I do really want naval. Yeah, we're still miles off. Annoying. Let's just get as far into innovative as possible. We'll get this war done with Castile. But once our daughter comes of age, we should be good to get her in the cabinet. It's only 2 years away. Let's break the alliance with Castile. Sorry, Castile. I do want to be your friend. I just don't have the capacity. My bad, guys. Not really much we can do about that, unfortunately. The English AI just doesn't know how to fight a war through our territory. If it did, it would be a lot easier. I do wonder if they actually ever hire our mercs, but I doubt it. Try it. We'll put it up to 12 to a year. And we'll just put it as cheap as possible to see if someone hires us. We've got some manpower spare. We are just losing population aimlessly to maintain these armies. So is it like really worth it? I'm not really sure. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should go for an army perspective or a mercenary only type of perspective? What are we saying? I'm going to cut our forts a little bit further. I just don't want to spend the money. We need to keep as much money in our economy as possible. We'll keep a few, especially the core ones, around our capital. Oh, and yeah, I didn't check the fort limit before we made the gigantic fort line, which is a bit of a problem from my half, but it's okay. We've still got these 2 markets, and they're both doing quite good. But we don't have enough marketplaces in this one. We are still the preeminent power in both. And the only advantage of having these 2 is it means we've got really good market access everywhere. So whilst we might not have a mega market, we've got really good production efficiencies. We're still really struggling to fill up this RGO. I think I might just abandon ship at this point, though. We've been doing it for long enough. You can get onto, I guess, strengthening government. Actually, it's not worth it. It's only for 2 ducats. Develop province. You can develop Den Haag. We'll get as much development in as small a land mass as possible. And we'll cut our diplomatic spending again. But we do want to use our diplomats on something. So, request a circle privilege. Get more prestige and some benefits, sure. And we will economy, request loan. It's not worth it. Economic support. Sponsor a military order. Could do, actually. It will give us some decent buffs, but I don't want to waste money. We'll just send someone to the Prussian Crusade, I guess. Someone young. Yeah, get some decent stats. Why not? And then we will start improving relation with our coalition as usual. We'll try and get Hesse out. We can. Yeah, let's do it. They're quite big. But we're planning on declaring war on them soon enough, and we're not going to get rid of this army before that war, at least. What we do need to do is get these loans paid off. We need to get our crown power back and just get out of this interest spiral, because we're just wasting money unnecessarily on it. It depends on the amount of expected wars. Well, obviously the big one is we just need to get our land consolidated. We need to take Frisia, we need to get Flanders, we need to beat France, and then we should be okay. The England never making it over the channel does make it so annoying. Absolutely. Like, do they not know how to hire the naval levies? Like, come on, guys. I also find my armies have made of paper. I don't know why. Well, if you're not filling... The reason why our army got destroyed so much there was because we just don't have enough troops to match them. Like, if you've got more troops in the battle, you're doing... It's like you've got unguarded flanks. Like the Battle of... I don't know, what's a big encirclement? Like Cannae, right? If they can just completely encircle you, you can see why you're going to lose that battle. It's yeah, it's having your frontage filled up is really important. And obviously France coming in with double our number of troops is going to do a little bit of damage. Do you want an RGO? No, we'll save it for now. We've got this brand new war RGO that we need to get fully filled first. We're starting to have a little bit of population issues. It's not the end of the world for now. Can we get any roads? Oh, it's trying to get us to go through Flanders, which isn't worth it just yet. Protected harbours could be good for the harbour capacity. Get one here. And we'll get one in Den Haag. We've got 146, maybe not. We'll save it for a little bit. Den Haag is starting to get very starvy. It has not enough food. Look, we survived the French. That's the important bit. Are we having stream issues again? Oh no! What is going on? We're being DDoSed by YouTube again. If you can still hear me, I appreciate you for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. The stream might be ending soon because we're seemingly having some internet issues, but hopefully it survives. I'm only 1400, so I combine levies with regulars, so frontage was filled. Let's see if we can do something to fix this internet issue. Theoretically, it hopefully should come back on its own, but I don't want to jinx it. Could we? Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to stop the stream and try and fix it because then it just completely destroys the momentum. Is it like a? Is it just like bad quality or like what we talking? Yeah, so we're preparing for this wall. We've got the next CB coming up soon, and our daughter is finally available. Lovely, and she's 100 Diplo. That's insane. So we need to grant the cabinet, right? We'll see if we can get some free legitimacy from our clergy just to get it back. It's not time yet. We can do it in 3 years. Yeah, we'll just pay for it. It's fine. And who do we want to kick out of our cabinet? Our uncle is head of the cabinet, which could be good to get rid of. But he's our crown pat anyway. This guy has got a bad trait. So let's get you out and let's get you in. And we will move you over to... I guess you can develop somewhere. I guess go up here. And you can try and push us towards naval. Now, oh no, she can't. She's not the head of the cabinet. If she was the head of the cabinet, it would probably be fine. We'll just stick her on innovative. You're not very good. I do want you to go away as soon as possible. Yeah, apologies if you've got some quality issues at the moment, but the stream does still seem to be up, which is the important bit. We've finally got rag paper as well, which is brilliant. So we can think about moving it over. We'll try it and we'll see how it affects our economy. So our tax base at the moment is 195. We go to our papermakers guilds and we swap it over. It will create a lot of demand for cloth. So we're going to have to make some more spinners guilds over here. But hopefully it gives us a little bit of an economic advantage. It's skipping every bit and then starts buffering again. Okay, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to try putting a LAN in and see if that makes it a bit easier. Now, hopefully the stream stays up. If it should get a little bit better. Good to see you, Yoshi and Mysterio, though. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. Unmarried children. Can we try and get a British guy? I want us to stay in our court. That's the thing. I think we'll just marry her to a noble, just to try and keep it in the family. Yeah, she's still in our crown estate, which is brilliant. Is the internet quality a little bit better? Hopefully. Fingers crossed. The land starts working. Do let me know. Keep me updated. We'll push into Frisia now. We can... It will summon our coalition, but we can call people to fight it for us. Oh, actually, how close are we to a parliament? Yeah, 2 years. Let's just get this over and done with. Humiliate rival. Let's call in Bohemia and Denmark. Why not? Just make it easier for us. And then let's just chill at the back for a little bit. You should pivot to Merc. You need your pops to build a sustainable econ for war. Absolutely. I think I'm starting to go along that line as well. And we can stack some really good mercenary buffs as well. Unfortunately, it seems the internet issue isn't resolving. So I might have to go and see if I can fix it. And I could always come back to a stream at a different day. We shall see. We'll try and get this war done at least first. It's still, yeah, it's still saying it's buffering. But I don't have any option to affect the latency, unfortunately. It does seem like Russia might have cut a cable on the seafloor. I don't know what's going on because I've even checked my LAN in now and that's not even working. Get these sieges done quickly. Are we still struggling? We still got problems? What's going on? Wipe them out. Lovely. Got a tiny little professional army. And we should hopefully get this war won. Yeah, 110 war score for those provinces. Maybe not. You might... I mean, you're accepted culture, it seems. No, you're not. Well, at least we can get the coalition to go away. But we should be fine AE-wise for us to take some of these provinces. We could just give it to our vassal. Probably makes it easier. 95, yeah. We're going to have to win this well and truly. I'm not sure what's going on at the moment, guys. I apologize for the issues with the quality. I shall try and get it sorted ASAP though. Our fort line is doing some work in this war at least, even if it is only half oriented now. And Frisia is fully occupied now, so it should be pretty easy to get them over and out. And this guy is Westphalian, so it's probably it's actually a core of our vassal. No, it's not, but we can definitely give it over. Now, this vassal hates us anyway, so maybe not. We'll just take the provinces we can. The good thing about a war like this is there's no... we can get our daughter head of the cabinet, which means we could probably try pushing naval. It might be enough. No! But to be fair, we do have our army up at the moment. Oh, yeah, it's still not enough, unfortunately. Go innovative again, and we'll get a new cabinet minister. Is there anyone on our crown estate? There's you, but you're not very good. Anyone with good stats? You're quite good. As a you, and you've got a good trait, so we'll go for you for now. We'll get Frisia over and out. There's no increase in our base antagonism for taking this. We can just, even with the humiliate rival CB, obviously going to make sure we go diplomatic endeavours first, just to reduce our AE as much as possible. We might even let our allies just wipe out their armies a little bit first to reduce their population. They're less of a problem in the future. But we should be pretty much over and out. Yeah, they're doing some hefty battles at the moment for us. We can peace out when we want, really. We're going to get a consistent peace deal anyway with all of them. Let's do it. Let's just get it over and done with. Get the truces up and running, and then we can do a proper war soon enough. And that expands them a little bit. We've got the Diplo rep. We can go back to pushing innovative. And then we can shut down our forts and armies and stuff. Now, we're so close to pushing naval. We just need our heir to come of age, and it might be enough. It's proving quite hard to get, but we'll get there eventually, I really hope. Antagonism? Is there anyone still in our coalition, or have we just got rid of all of them? Have a quick go. No, we've got rid of all of them. That's lovely. We will improve relations with Trier just in case, though. Try and get them out. And then we can try and fully annex Frisia in the next war. Please tell me your culture converting for us, though. That would be nice. No, they're still not doing it. If anything, they're going back to their old culture. Have they converted back? If they have, that's the piss take. Let's have a look. Yeah, they've converted back against orders. We might have to enforce them again. Yeah, let's get that done. Reinforce their culture. We should be almost there. And we can actually now think about revoking the right to inherit if we wanted to. Because that would allow us to change our the law for our heir, which allow us to actually get our good heir rather than our crap heir. But to be fair, this guy's not even that bad, right? It's not the end of the world. So I think we'll leave it for now at least. We can always come back to it later. See, is it still buffering? I've done my best. I've changed what I can. I don't know what the issue is. Let's repay our loan. Lovely. We're now out of debt. That's going to be great for our crown power. France wants us to do that. Nope. I'm not doing that, France. You are my enemy now. We just fought a war. Get a grip of yourself, man. I wish we could, like, mothball our army, but sadly we can't. I mean, how close are we to getting this naval privilege? We're a few off getting our heir of age. But I think we'll come back to that for the next session. I don't know why the stream's buffering. It's a weird issue, and I've tried fixing it. It won't let me. So I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It'd be greatly appreciated. I don't know why the bad quality came in the back end of the stream, but I'll see if I can investigate it. Next session, probably Friday, I think, for the next stream. If you want to chuck Friday evening into your calendar, we'll get our economy going and we'll see what we can fix out. So thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you in a bit and have a good night.